So when the controversy around Otedola writing a book was all over the internet, I was quite curious. And the whole conversation around Lapo and Nepo conversation came in. And in my mind, I knew that there was something wrong somewhere. We have a culture that has to be dealt with. We have a culture that has to be eliminated from our entire system. And the truth about it is that there is a subtle reality of the fact that if a lot of us are not careful, we are going to be repeating a very serious pattern of poverty, which will make Nigeria as a nation. In fact, this will affect Nigeria as a whole, both in terms of our GDP and our economical realities, both at a macro level and at a micro level. And I want to believe that everyone who watches our YouTube channel is or generally people who desire to build sustainable wealth through real estate. And I would expect that there are key lessons from this book that everybody, Lapo or Nepo, and in fact, I would expect that people really would want to move from Lapo to Nepo, even if they were Lapo kids, right? But that's conversation for another day. For this particular video, we want to really look at how real estate saved Otedola, right? Or it's a question we're asking, right? Did real estate save Otedola? Because there was a major crash in the business and, of course, the life of Femi Otedola. And whether you are Lapo right now trying to go to or move your family generation to Nepo, or you are that person who just desires to build wealth, there's a major lesson you must learn, not just from this book, but from how real estate can really save a man, help a man build, help a man escape poverty, and really help a man live the life that he truly desires to live. Let's look at the life of Otedola. My name is Raymond Ijoma, and I am the lawyer who loves real estate. I feel like the real estate entrepreneur who uses law and real estate as a tool in building wealth for myself and my clients all over the world. And I thought that the conversation around the move, the crash, and of course the rise of Otedola is one that is critical for everyone looking to invest in real estate or even thinking about investing in real estate for the purpose of building sustainable wealth. Do subscribe to this channel and make sure you share this video with as many persons as possible. So before I point to certain important and significant things that he had mentioned in this book, let us look at the summary of the entire conversation. The fall of Femi Otedola refers to a period of significant financial difficulty, primarily in 2008-2009. This is a significant period in the globe, all right, when his oil trading company Xenon faced collapse due to a dramatic fall in oil prices and heavy debt. Otedola lost hundreds of millions of dollars from oil price crash, currency devaluation, interest on loans, and a stock market slump. This crisis nearly bankrupted him, pushing him into a substantial debt of around $1.2 billion. However, he did not remain down. He later discovered another. I'm going to come back there. But let's quickly look at what exactly happened globally in 2008, 2009. More specifically with respect to Otedola's reality, the crash, and of course the rise eventually. And of course what led to the rise, all right? But first, let's look at the background. Oil price crash. Otedola had made massive diesel import order based on high oil prices, but a sharp decline in oil prices from $147 to $37 per barrel. In fact, let me read something he said in his book at this particular point. According to him, page 45, I had already ordered diesel worth 500 million US dollars. Then, just like that, it began to go down. It dropped to $110. I thought it wouldn't possibly dip below that. I calculated the odds and felt I would still be okay. But right before my eyes, it crashed to $37. The diesel I had ordered when the price was astronomically higher was already on the high seas, heading for Nigeria. Now it was worth a fraction of my purchase price. I said to myself, I'm finished. I'd fallen into suffocating debt in mere seconds. Now, there's a lesson here, both as it relates to other forms of investment versus real estate, and We may be able to touch it at the end of this entire conversation. The second point is naira devaluation. The devaluation of the Nigerian naira also contributed significantly to his losses. Debt and interest, the stock market slump, a crash in the stock market further reduced his wealth. Impact. The combined effect of these factors led to a massive financial setback, with Otedola describing it as a nightmare from which he couldn't wake up. Now, there was a comeback. But before then, let's check something out. So further in his book, he stated, I owed Access Bank 25 billion naira. I owed many other banks too. Zenith Bank 75 billion, GT 38 billion, UBA 33 billion, FCMB 26 billion, Intercontinental 14 billion, Union Bank 5 billion, Bank PHB 6 billion. They understood what had just happened with the oil price collapse and devaluation of the naira, and many sympathized with me, but not Access Bank. So the question was a conversation between himself and the Access Bank boss at the time. So what property do you want? I asked. I hope my voice didn't betray the grief that I felt rising inside. They asked for the property on Bodilon Road in Ikoyi. I gave them the papers. They asked for the development in Abuja in Maitama, opposite the Redeemed Christian Church of God, that featured 52 flats, 2 maisonette, and 8 townhouses. I gave them these documents too. So the question I asked here was, did real estate save Femi Otedola? And the answer was yes. Femi Otedola's real estate investment saved him during a period of significant debt, providing the leverage, stability, and assets needed to overcome nearly 200 billion naira in liabilities. He was able to repay this debt by liquidating significant assets, primarily his over 150 prime properties, which are considered stable and appreciating assets that protect wealth during financial turbulence. All right. So let's come back to the real conversation on real estate and whether it did save Femi Otedola or not. So the very first question we need to ask ourselves is, who should invest in real estate? Honestly, everyone should invest in real estate. You are either being used by your landlord, and in that regard, you are the one paying rent, right? You are either being used to make money through real estate, or you are the one making the money. So you are either using someone to make money through real estate, or you are the one being used to make money through real estate. The question is that there is a use. And in fact, Samademi was talking recently and was speaking about the fact that there is a constant factor, which is lamentation. And in listening to that video, it was quite funny, but the truth about it is that whether you like it or not, there's a different kind of lamentation for the landlord or the real estate investor, and a different kind of lamentation for the tenant. There's inflation, the economy is not making sense, things are not nice. The landlord's reaction will be to increase rent because he has an asset that has to be able to match up with inflation. In fact, for him, beat inflation in a way that keeps him profitable. While there is the tenant who only reacts because the landlord has increased his rent. And as a matter of fact, the tenant only has limited options. And the reason the options are limited are because you can't do without shelter. So it's a matter of either moving out of the house or paying the rent that you are being asked by the guy to pay. So tenant is lamenting, landlord is lamenting. So both parties are not happy about the economical realities, but the landlord increases the rent to match up his reality and to make sure that he's fine, while the tenant doesn't have an option but to either pay the rent or look for another place to live in. So the question around whether you should invest in real estate or not is not a question that really makes sense, honestly. Because whether you like it or not, you are either being used or you are the one using someone to make money in real estate. So the earlier you make a decision to begin to invest in real estate, the better. In fact, I was speaking recently and I was mentioning the fact that real estate actually is for everybody. It is not for the wealthy. Rather, it is for those who desire building wealth through real estate. So who should invest in real estate? Number one, those who want to build wealth. All right. Number two, those who want to escape poverty. Number three, those who desire generational shift and wealth. Number four, or D, those who want financial independence through passive earning. One thing that real estate does for you is that while you are able to possibly do another job, you live in the UK, real estate is making money for you back here in Nigeria. That is how beautiful real estate is in terms of being able to provide passive income. So in all of this conversation, what are the lessons you and I need to learn? Real estate is for everyone, whether you like it or not. And the truth about it is that you must learn to start small. This is a conversation that I have had so many times and I wish we begin to listen. Start small, leverage on instrumental payments. And lately I've been seeing people asking for a 18-month payment plan, 24-month payment plan. And the truth about it is that the Nigerian economic reality doesn't accommodate that. There's no financially sound developer that will be giving you, that would pay an individual, buy a land of 8 hectares, right? Pay the individual within 1 month, because we are really giving payment plans in the real estate sector as developers, right? So pay between maximum, say 3 months, on the average of 100 million per hectare times 8 hectares, that is 800 million naira. So you're paying 800 million naira and then you're facilitating the estate. It makes no sense for you to give somebody 18 months to 24 months to pay for a land of 200 square meters. How long are you able to recoup your capital to be able to do other things or fund another project or even be able to pay off this if you took a loan to make a purchase of the estate? So realistically speaking, as far as our economy is concerned, it makes no sense right now for somebody to give you a team to 24 months payment plan. The best bet you can get for some, in fact, basic policy right now is between 4 to 6 months. If you get a real estate company that gives you a 12-month payment plan for land, that is really being magnanimous, and you definitely should grab it. So start small, leverage on installment payment, and definitely you should be able to build from there. Lesson number 2, diversify. You didn't just invest in oil, you invested in a lot of real estate. And if you are mainly into real estate like myself, it's also important that you diversify into other things. You can do shares, but of course, there's the conversation about shares. Know the terms and conditions, because you notice in the 2008-2009 issue, there was also it affected the stock market and everything in between. So we're going to have that conversation much later, but understand that diversification is a key as far as the entire real estate conversation is concerned anywhere in the world, or investment generally. Number 3 lesson I can pick out that would help generally is don't eat your capital. Don't eat or spend your capital. This is key. Some of your funds are for real estate investments. Some others are funds that should be put into your business so that you can properly invest in real estate. I've said this over and over. Someone asked me a few days back, he said he had 10 million naira coming, and the question was, should he invest that 10 million into real estate? My answer wasn't a direct yes. My answer was a yes and no. My answer was a no. If he has a real-time business, active business, that he can put in that 10 million naira and be able to generate or increase his earning from, say, 200k monthly to 700 to 1 million monthly. If he has a business that he should put this 10 million naira into to increase his monthly earning, then definitely let him make that decision by putting in that 10 million into the business. But if he doesn't have, and is not the person that can even start it, or cannot guarantee that that 10 million naira will yield good returns for him in any other thing, then the best bet is to put that 10 million naira in real estate. And of course, strategically in a way that will guarantee huge return on investment. So the idea is, whoever you are, whatever you are doing, know your financial state and know the value of the money you have per time. Is it the one you should put into business? Go ahead and put it as quickly as possible. Is it the one that you should rather use to invest in real estate? Do so as quickly as possible. But the most important thing is, don't eat or spend your capital. And then finally, point number 4, start. Stop analyzing. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for perfect economical realities. Stop waiting for the perfect developer. There's no perfect developer. There is none anywhere in the world. The system is not perfect. The policies are not perfect. Things change here and there, but just start. Start the right way with professionals, and if you do, you will definitely be on your way to building sustainable wealth, leveraging on real estate. God helps us all. Otedola's story is totally inspiring. Our prayer is that we don't fall, right? Our prayer is that mercy keeps us. But regardless, life happens. And then, for whatever reason, God will also give us the wisdom to apply the right strategies that helps us to remain successful, remain profitable, and everything we do to remain sustainable. My name is Raymond Ijoma, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to share this particular video with as many people as possible. And of course, stay in touch. Subscribe to this channel, and again, share this video with as many people as possible. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.